broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, yeah? Oh, you know what that noise means. That beautiful theme song. That's right. Yeah. Shark Tank is back. We are here, Season 7, AFTERBUZZ TV, our after show for, I think it's all of our favorite shows, Shark Tank. We have some really exciting things to talk about. But before that, I am your host, Stef Z, and tonight on the panel, we've got a full panel. We're missing Phil, but we've got a lovely new addition. Let's introduce her first. Yeah, I know. We've got Zoe. How you doing tonight?
Hey, everyone. This is my first AFTERBUZZ show. I'm so excited to be with all of you.
Oh, wow. She's cat's out of the bag.
She looks a lot better than Phil.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me saying.
Yeah. And,
I don't mind.
Yeah. Where can the people tweet you along the way if they want to interact with you during the show, Zoe?
I'm at Zoe Said What.
Sweet.
Oh, that's a good handle.
That is a good handle.
I like that.
What about you? Where can they find you, Mr. Cameron? Introduce yourself.
You can find me at The Only Camshaft Twitter and Instagram. Guy David. What about you?
Guy and a Girl Show on Twitter. That's going to be changed, but for now, it's Guy and a Girl Show. And
his hair will be changed too.
Yeah, I'm having a bad hair day.
It's okay. You look so cute. Don't worry. It fits you.
Talking absolute rubbish, but thank you.
Bit.
And my Instagram, my new Instagram, Guy David 86 with my 46 followers. Who's going to be the 47th?
You're really pushing that.
We're gonna find him. Okay, we're so excited about this new season, but are you guys ready?
No.
Is everybody ready? Before we get into the new season, we have to share with you. We're gonna have links up while you're watching this to click. We've tweeted it. Myself and Guy actually got to go to press day. We got to interview the Sharks. We got to see a full taping of Shark Tank. It was not the premiere episode, unfortunately, because I might have died if I met Ashton Kutcher, because I love him. But we got to see it, meet the show. It was one of the most amazing days, I would have to say, in my Los Angeles life.
No, it was better than the day I met my fiance. It was one of the best days. It was one of the best days I've had in America.
Yeah, and it was really funny because we didn't really we only did 3 shows together, and there we were
I didn't know you. I barely knew you.
Yeah,
I thought you were a strange person.
Yeah.
But we bonded because from the whole atmosphere of it. And I remember at the start it was just we were so starstruck seeing everybody.
Right.
And then by the end of the whole day being there, it was just like, oh yeah, there's Damon John, there's Laurie, there's Mark Cuban next to us eating lunch. Yeah. It was just like we knew them because we spent so much time with them.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And again, you guys should definitely check out those interviews. Mark Cuban tells me his stripper name. It's pretty amazing. And we also get to see how things happen. We get to see that the pitches are, I'm sure you guys out there know that the pitches are a little bit longer than, than we see. But we get to see exactly how long things are going. We get to see what is edited, what is not, how they, we've talked about it when the entrepreneurs come in, they have to stop and they adjust the lights, and it's that moment of are they nervous?
10-minute wait.
Yeah, it's not exactly 10 minutes, but there is a lighting, there is a situation that happens, and you get to see they're collecting their thoughts. Some of them are pacing, so it was really
Some of them literally were pacing, walking up and down. You could see them go through the numbers.
The worst experience of your life waiting to pitch.
I could not believe how long the pitches were. I always used to think when I was watching it, why are they sweating so badly in 10 minutes? They've really been up there an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's so long, one pitch. And I just want to give you credit. You were, before the interviews, I thought you were in no emotional state to interview a shark. You're like a kid in a candy store, and flustered, going everywhere. But then you composed yourself. I don't know how. It was the biggest 180 I've ever seen. But you kept it together.
When the camera goes on, man, so does Stef Z. I'm just saying.
Oh, God, I made her head even bigger.
Yeah.
No, it was very interesting. There's, like I said, it's really interesting. There's things in those interviews that you wouldn't expect. Mr. Wonderful saying how all his companies in his portfolio that are actually profitable are run by women CEOs. So he talks about women in business. So you see a little bit of a softer side of him, so to speak. There was a lot, and like you were saying, afterwards, while we were watching the pitches, because it was press day and all the sharks were there, they were actually watching the pitches with us. We were behind the scenes in this little area where there was a TV and we could see, but we could actually hear them, but the TV was showing what we were seeing. And literally Barbara and Damon were just sitting right there because there was a guest shark that we're not going to reveal that we got to see, but they were talking about the pitches as they went.
Who was the guest?
I can't tell you, dude.
Such a tease.
Was it Mila Kunis?
No.
Oh, no. I wouldn't have been able to handle that.
If Ashton was there, I would have freaked out.
God.
Ashton, we reached out to you. We want you to come. We got to talk to all the other sharks, and I'm telling you, if you come, I will get it together.
Can I just quickly say, Steph, one more thing? That question you asked Mr. Wonderful about how women are the only profitable things invested in, that was question of the day.
Yeah.
The person next to us was from E or somewhere. She was like listening in. Then
She was studying.
They stole my questions.
Then Mr. Wonderful went straight to the next person. She asked exactly the same question. E! News or whoever it was stole Stef Z's question.
It happened. It happened.
Blatant
I'm
robbery.
pissed. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. It was blatant robbery, but at the end of the day, it's good information. So I'm glad that he's saying it on multiple platforms so that
Yeah.
people get to hear it.
Yeah.
Anything else that stood out about that? I don't know. So it was so much.
The fact that I missed it,
Well, Cameron,
that stands out to me.
Okay, Zoe wasn't there. So
Zoe
I know.
missed
But
it.
you gotta
I
watch the
missed it.
interviews. Have you
Next
seen
time.
them? You gotta watch the interviews.
I can't wait to see them.
Okay, you're gonna have to watch. And Cameron
watch
was
my
like,
shadow.
I gotta work. So I'm like, I gotta work some other job.
I didn't feel like you made a legitimate effort to come, so
No,
you
and you don't
deserve
even-
everything.
How
dare you.
You don't even work there anymore, so whatever. All right, so let's get into it. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iTunes. Give us some stars, give us some love, tweet us. We'd love to hear what you guys think about these products as we go. All right, so for the first product, Bebo.
Booby.
Booby Bebo. What do you guys think about Bebo? What do you think about Martin and him wanting $200,000 for 20% of Bebo?
I loved it.
It's a boob. It's a hanging boob.
But it's perfect for those of us who don't have those.
You have them.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know.
It makes
It doesn't
frees
serve
up
the-
a hand, right?
In theory, but it doesn't serve the same actual function.
Well, no, right.
So it's still, I think, hard to use because the thing's gonna move around. The Bebo is gonna move.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's targeted towards men, I believe. It's a daddy feeding thing. And it's very interesting that they had Ashton Kutcher, because I don't know if you guys saw this, but Ashton he was petitioning to get more baby changing, whatever you call them, like the
Changing tables
in men's bathrooms, because if a dad, it's just assumed that a dad's never going to have the kid by himself and he doesn't have the place to do that. So there's been a lot of talk about him being an advocate of this, so it made sense that he was the guest shark and this was the opening product on season 7.
I thought this was brilliant.
I did too.
I mean, I'm thinking.
Well, you're guys,
I'm
so
thinking.
that's interesting.
I'm thinking.
We're
How do,
like, we got the boob.
No, but
I
see,
can
I
sit
don't
there
think
and do this.
yeah, but how do I can watch football on a Sunday with a beer in my hand and keep the wife happy by feeding the kid. It's so convenient and it allows me to do things that guys love to do and keep the wife happy. You know?
I understand. I'm not saying I disagree, but
you disagree.
But you do disagree.
No, I don't disagree. I just don't see. I mean,
That's because you're a girl. It's a guy product. It's for the men and it's to keep the wives happy. The spouse is happy, right?
I don't think so. I disagree. I mean, I didn't love
you
the
too.
product.
Yeah,
But
very
I
interesting.
don't think that it's just for men because babies get bottles regardless. Like, they're not
Right.
always going to be breastfed. Maybe some are formula fed or like daycare
That's true.
situation. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the boob is doing the job.
But isn't it a way
see,
to
I would be
like?
pissed off if you went to daycare to pick up your kid and there was someone sitting there with Bebo, like on their cell phone taking selfies or tweeting or texting. Do you really think that? Would you? I wouldn't be happy about that.
Can't it connect the kid with the father a bit more because he's breastfeeding with a device from the father? I don't know.
It's still a bottle. You can use your hand. The only point is that it frees up your other hand to read a book.
I just want to watch my
that's
football
not
drink a
Reading
beer.
books,
And that's
guy, you don't want to read
perfect.
a book. You want to drink a beer or play darts with the baby in your hand
And keep the
Bebo.
spouse happy at the same time. This
fine.
does the what? There was a
See,
good
I
invention.
agree. Guy David, are you going to buy one of these?
hopefully I'm not having kids in the next few years, but when I do, I will purchase them.
You know what got
Wow.
me? You know what sold me?
What?
Was the rotating thing on it.
That was kind of cool. At first, I was like, "You're gonna have to like shimmy the baby around."
Do one of these, but you can rotate it. It's like a little turret. It worked out great.
He had it covered too. He had this. It's stretched for different sized bottles, which Ashton pointed out, and quite
It was
rightly,
bad
it was
design though too. I feel like something like this, it's got to be designed so you looked at the packaging and you kind of didn't exactly know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it spins and hands-free baby bottle spinning situation. It was just like. It was just like this packaging that showed this weird-looking boob wannabe.
This is going to do well.
Agreed.
I agree with you.
I think so
it's gonna
too.
do well. And I think women will actually buy this. Maybe we're being a little bit harsh. I feel like women will buy it.
I think they got to drop the price about $10. So
What don't you like about it?
$40 you think is too high for this
I
thing?
think that's too high.
Oh no.
How much is a bottle?
I was just going to ask the same thing. I have no idea.
Could it
Like a few dollars,
Just
a few dollars. But I think people buy so much baby stuff. I mean, like, such a huge business that it'll be a novelty item. People will think this will make my life easier, just like all these other
Right.
baby things, like diaper pails, which is really just a trash can. I mean,
This is not the first time I've endorsed a baby product on this show.
Do you want babies?
You remember Neat Cheeks?
Yes.
The sugar. They sent me Neat Cheeks in the mail.
Oh, you told us that.
Yes, the Neat
I
Cheeks.
missed that one. What was that one?
It was they had stevia baby wipes. Oh god! I'm excited to get a Bebo.
So
I'll take a Bebo. If you want to send us Bebos, we'll all wear them and drink.
You got
them.
it in the mail?
I'll drink my own thing. I'll drink my own drink out of the Bebo at the game.
I feel like it has adult application, you guys.
That's true.
Exactly,
So
like
true.
put a straw
That's
in your
true.
bottle.
I think you're right
it
about
does.
that.
It's not.
That's
just
like
a
an
baby
over-the-shoulder cup holder.
Yes.
Hashtag
You heard it.
over-the-shoulder cup holder. You heard it live here.
At the underscore
AFTERBUZZ.
Bebo.
Bebo. Yes. I want to cut.
AFTERBUZZ TV exclusive.
That's
Yes.
right.
Over-the-shoulder
that.
cup holder.
Well, I'm buying one when
I'm buying one too now.
if I find my
want
kid
one. You guys have to buy me one.
that's somewhere out there and I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know you that well.
I will get one and I'll have it on the show.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, sweet. So Mr. Wonderful goes in. He makes an offer, $200,000 for 33.5%. He wants a third of the company, which is very interesting. That Mr. Wonderful's first offer was just a straight deal.
I was surprised too.
Yeah, it's used to like I want this perpetuity, that percent of this,
Yeah.
percent of that. But again, you know,
You're dead to me.
yeah. That didn't come out the first skit. He
No,
wasn't dead.
no.
And then Ashton Kutcher. Let's just talk about him, and not because I love him, but let's talk about how smart he was. I kind of feel like he was. I mean, I didn't think he was dumb, but the questions that he was asking, the things that he wanted to know, I feel like were a lot more. Some of the I guess what I'm trying to say is some of the sharks that come on the show, I feel like just ride the coattails of the other sharks and want to get involved with somebody else. But he was his own shark. He could literally hold his seat on Shark Tank every week.
I agree. You know, I thought that they got him on the show as like a publicity stunt at first. That's what I was worried about. And about halfway through the episode, first of all, on this first pitch, I was sold. But about halfway through the episode, he's playing moderator.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, holy crap,
Yeah.
this
He
guy's
just
in it.
Stepped up
Have
and
we,
took
have
control.
we seen what this guy's invested in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Read
mean-
off the list. Give
Yeah,
us,
do you have
give us
some?
the
I don't have a list on me, but what? It's Instagram? No.
Instagram,
Uber, Airbnb.
Uber.
Those
Yeah.
are the two that stand out to me.
And
Yeah.
I read a list of like Forbes
A lot of
top
them.
10 smartest celebrities in Hollywood. He's like number 3.
He's
a highly
brilliant.
switched on guy.
Yeah.
understated then.
Yeah.
Definitely, like I hadn't heard that.
I love
until
seeing
now.
a serious side of him.
Me too.
I've never seen a real serious side of the guy.
Yeah.
I loved seeing him think. Just, think about things.
It reminded
you
me of
had a
when he
different
played
take
Steve
on
Jobs.
it, but
Oh, yeah, no, that's interesting. You know what I was going to say? It's interesting because he and Mila every year attend the Stagecoach Festival, and I've been lucky enough to see them every year. And it's interesting because he lets loose and has a good time, and it's very interesting because not that he does anything illegal. I'm not trying to say that or bad talk about him, but he like dances around like
Yeah.
he's just a guy listening to some country music and having fun. So the fact that he's so in tune and very real and humble and smart doesn't surprise me that he was this way. I didn't think he was going to come and just want the PR. He doesn't seem like that guy. He doesn't need
Yeah.
to be in the spotlight. He just does his thing. Granted, the spotlight follows, but he's not trying to create another spotlight. He's just doing what he's meant to be doing wherever he is.
he's married to my dream girl.
Yeah.
Just it's rubbish. And he's smarter than me, and he's more successful than me, obviously.
Send her a Bebo.
Are you gonna be okay, guy?
No, I'm just doubting my life right now. I
Baby
just
was
had a
on
moment.
set, and did you hear the baby was on set?
There was there?
Yeah,
She was
so that
there.
means she was there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Would have walked in when we were there on press day. I would have fell over.
I would have quit.
You know, Zoe has interviewed Ashton a number of times. She didn't really like him on the show. She was telling us backstage.
I just thought he looked a little uncomfortable, a little awkward. That was just my read on it. I know he's a great investor. He's done a lot. He's a great
Right.
producer. I mean, his shows all do really well. I mean, Punk'd is the one that stands out to me. But
Right.
his shows do well. He's clearly a smart guy. I think, of course, he could hold his own. But I just didn't love him as a shark.
That's fair.
Really?
That's fair.
That's fair.
I can see, like, I didn't expect him to be that comfortable. Like, I expected him to feel more out of place.
Well, but the thing
But
is,
he seemed really comfortable.
That's his life. If you're an investor, any investor, I feel like at the end of the day, it's business and it comes down to your money.
Yeah.
And it comes down to making smart decisions because you could see that there were some, even when he was, we'll get into it later, even when he was sticking up for that woman, he still didn't invest because he felt bad. And we've seen some people do the charity investment and he wasn't willing to do that. So anyway, let's keep going. So Robert was out. From this one. Mark Cuban, he's not a problem he needs to solve. It's not a problem that needs to be solved in his book. It's fine. And Ashton did say that it was, which was interesting because Ashton went out because he was saying how much he loved that time with his baby girl and that's a very intimate thing and he didn't want to kind of take away from that. But then it turns out that Lori wanted to do a deal and she offered $200,000 for 30% and she asked Ashton to come in and he winds up coming in and they get a deal, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, he also said that it's just not. He thought he'd be more useful later on in the marketing of it,
Right.
so he didn't hate it.
Yeah,
so
no, he
it
didn't
left
hate
it
it.
open to him coming back in.
Yeah.
I think that was smart of Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really smart of Lori for so many different reasons.
Well, I think she really wanted him, especially for his social media standing. I mean, she even said that.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I think Bebo is going to explode.
Can you imagine you are
No.
business partners with Ashton Kutcher?
I can't imagine a guy, and it looks good.
Just,
Yeah.
Who's your business partner? Oh, Ashton. You know Ashton Kutcher, the guy to another. You know Ashton Kutcher. He's yeah. No worries. All right. Just come on. Keep
we have
going.
we have a
Anything
Bebo
else
together.
about
We have a
Bebo before we move on? Anyone have anything else? Any other thoughts on the Bebo? I want to say the Bieber.
The Bieber.
I just keep thinking Justin Bieber when I say Bebo. Anyway, we'll move on to the acting. What did you guys think? First opinions, thoughts about the acting. They wanted $1 million for 3.5% of this company. Which
That is
think?
a high valuation.
Always a red flag. As soon as
bit
you hear it,
large.
right?
Yeah. What do you think, Zoe?
I thought what Ashton said actually here was the best, that it should make you want to do it, and I agreed. Like, it looked neat to watch them, but I did not want that product.
You're back on the Ashton bandwagon.
All right,
I think he was
you're
right,
a
that's
waiver. We're just trying to figure you
Yeah,
out.
it was
Still, we'll
stupid.
see.
No, I just go where it takes me.
All right,
That's right.
fine.
This reminded me of the what is that thing that everybody's using now? The Iohawk or the Airwalk or whatever, that two-wheeled.
I saw one
Thing is,
on the
yeah.
way here, you guys. I
Yeah.
was driving and I saw
See,
one.
look at how excited
I
you
was
are about that.
because you guys, I was gonna say to you, oh my god, I saw one, and then I saw
It
it
was
was
like
two
that.
wheeled and it wasn't the same, and I was so
Yeah.
disappointed
So-
because I was like, I'm gonna come here.
I think it's interesting because my initial reaction to this was that okay, you're pitching this as a personal transport device, but is this something like people are going to take to work? Is that what you're? I don't understand.
I could see that.
And
Yeah,
but
I feel like that's what they're going for, man.
the other one that's already out, like everybody has one of those friggin' things. So
I've
this
ridden
is.
those and they're super fun.
I think this is a thing. Like I think there's
you,
legs.
you like this?
I wouldn't buy it because I think I'd be terrible at it, but I like it as a concept.
It looks hard when Robert got on it.
The
Like, it
other
looks
one is
tough.
kind of hard. The one with the two wheels that
wheels.
you saw, it's hard to start, and because it's a lot of just leaning forward but once you get it, it's kind of like you're cruising and you can go in circles.
But how many times have the Sharks said don't come in with a 3.5%, equity stake?
Yeah.
It's not worth our time. I feel like they've said that over and over again, and people
Yeah.
keep doing it.
And I feel like they were also trying to see if this guy was a gold digger and just wanted the press because there are other competitive products, which I don't think he was. He he made room in his valuation, but I also feel like, Mark and Ashton said this, and to me, they're two of the smartest not the smartest, like the other ones aren't smart, but they're two of the most in tune with what's happening and trending in what's happening now.
Yeah.
And I feel like both of them saying that the personal transportation is going to explode, that we're going to start seeing a lot more and more of these. And I don't know that this is the best one I've seen or the one that I would want to spend $600 on.
You know what? The one thing that worries me is they said that these two, and I agree with that for this reason. They're the 2 feet things communicate with each other wirelessly. So what happens when A, that malfunctions, or B, that gets hacked? Do you do the splits?
Like, see, that's why I can't ski. I can't do it. I don't like my feet being apart. That's why I like the one bar. Your feet are there together.
One. Yeah.
The hackers want to see someone do the splits.
Yeah. Just going to work.
It's totally gonna happen
In front of Ashton? I can't do it.
I don't think I'd wear these. I don't know why.
No?
I'd rather, walk.
Yeah.
Did you think that $4.99 was too expensive? Or is that about right?
I thought it'd be about right. I don't know.
Yeah. The one with the 2 wheels, I believe, is like $800.
Whoa. Oh, really?
So I feel like
That's
a
cheap.
bigger thing. The thing that with me that I don't understand about this is someone has to invent this, and it like folds up and you can put it in a bag. Like, what do you do with your skates? Then you just hold your skates all day? You know,
Right.
like, what do you do with this big bar? What do you do with these Segway?
That'd be the game changer for
like the Segway and all that kind of stuff, I guess you can lock up like a bike or whatever, but I feel like these personal transportation, there needs to be I don't know exactly what the answer is clearly, but there needs to be some way that it folds up and goes away.
I'm with you.
It needs to be Beboed. That's what needs to happen.
Okay, they didn't say how much they weighed, but I wish they had, because I do think a lot of times, like, it's popular now, carry a canvas bag. You could pop those things in a canvas bag and carry them.
I guess they
but
weren't
how much
big.
do they weigh?
Yeah, the other thing weighed.
The bar?
Yeah, I don't know how
I hate carrying stuff too.
Yeah.
I hate just lugging things around.
But let's say you're going into your office, so you wear them, let's say, from the train station to your office, if we lived in a train-friendly city.
If we lived in New
and
York.
then you're at your desk, so you put them in your desk and you're done. You don't have to carry them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sold. There's something.
Yeah, clearly we're not sold. And clearly the Sharks weren't sold either, because this guy got no deal.
Yeah.
Would he have got a deal? He would have got a deal if he offered more equity.
I think
if he would have offered, someone offered him
Mr. Wonderful offered him
15%.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't go up for that, which, I don't know, at the end of the day, you got to pick what your worth is. Is it worth having a shark and doing? But this guy also, he's had, $2 million in seed investment. Then he had another round of $2.5 million. So it's at a $20 million valuation. So he keeps making his valuation go higher and higher without really selling that much. So those are always weird to me, how these people raise all this money.
Mr. Wonderful
an idea.
even said,
and over again.
Mr. Wonderful said, if I take 7%, I'm going to be diluted when you get more investors down to like nothing. It's just not. It's going to be a waste of time for me.
Right.
I think this guy did want a deal though, but I think he was stuck with the equity.
Yeah.
I think he had too many other investors.
I think
He didn't really know his numbers either.
He didn't really know some. And you know what? The other thing that pissed me off was when they asked what his cost was, and he said around 40%.
That was arrogance.
Yeah, but it was like, there's competitors out there. So what if they know what your cost is? I don't understand. Like, what is
that's
that?
not revealing anything.
Like, if you have a clothing line and I have a clothing line, and I know it costs you $6 to make your shirts, and you know it costs me $5.50, you're just going to be like, well, I got to get my cost
I'll
down.
go get it done
Yeah.
for $4.
Doesn't matter though if we're both selling for $4.99, $5.99, $6.99.
But I disagree. I think that was the first indication to me that he just was there for the publicity. I did not think he was there for a deal. But I think the reason it makes a difference is because to your consumers, when you hear that something costs only, let's say, $100 to make, and they're charging you $800, you think, oh, that's a huge markup. Whereas if you hear that something costs closer to the actual amount, you feel like, okay, everyone has to make money.
But the guy's
That's
going
not
on Shark
reality.
Tank.
You know what I mean? Like, the reality of these things is the one guy that it cost him 75 cents to make, and he was selling for $20 or whatever it was. The Sharks are like, that's a great margin.
Yeah.
Like, that's a place to make money. And I feel like a lot of people out there, and I don't know if it's just because I worked, in the fashion industry and I have done that, but the markup for even clothes, it's like
Right.
2.2. It'll cost you $8 for
Yeah.
to make a shirt, and you buy it in the store for 60. Like it's crazy. how
But
it
we don't
works.
want to hear that as consumers, is
Right,
what I'm
but
saying.
as
I think we know
investors,
it.
they do.
Right, but
Yeah,
that's
so
why
it's
I think
both.
he didn't
Yeah.
really
The
want to
guys
deal.
the guys on Shark Tank.
See,
He's
I
on a
agree.
nationwide show. He has
I
to
agree with
disclose
both
his
of
numbers.
you because
Yeah,
I agree
no, there's
that.
both sides. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree that like that is a valid comparison. As a consumer, you go, wait a second, I'm being screwed. But at the same time, this guy probably shouldn't come on the show if he wasn't going to give that
Right,
You
information.
know you have
That's
to
what
give
they
that
want.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then always people that tap dance around their numbers, I feel like the Sharks
They don't
like
get a
you don't
deal.
know what you're doing. Yeah. Anything else that stood out about acting before we move on
Wasn't
to?
fond of the name.
Acting.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Remind
it was
me of
like
Ohio.
action, and I
Remind me
forgot
of
the
Akron.
eye.
Acting, tough acting, tenactin.
What is that?
It's like a foot cream.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I remember.
It's kind of on theme. It's a foot thing.
But
I don't know.
you are funny. Okay, next we move on to the Mccleary Brothers from Detroit.
Oh yeah.
And we've got. I don't even know what I think about this product, but
I don't think I know
Jess
what it is.
I didn't even know what it is.
I know. I'm hoping you guys know maybe more than I do about this one. Jess wants $100,000 for 15%, and apparently it's a high-end mixer. So it's drinking vinegars. Do we care?
No. No.
Zoe, do you care?
I think I'm in the minority on this panel for I feel like every single
Hey, we've only done 3.
That's what we need, though.
That's what we need.
exactly
We need that.
what it is.
Yeah, I keep
you're-
losing these headphones.
No, they're a little wonky.
Okay,
It's not
so-
you.
I never agree with her on radio, by the way. This is a
No,
first.
I know, and I'm happy to be the dissenting voice every single one. So here's what the product was.
Yeah.
So right, it was a high-end mixer, but for people who drink vinegar, of which I am not one of those, like it's a health product too, which is what the Sharks were saying. Like it
Like the
doesn't
apple cider vinegar that people that have like a teaspoon
just
a day.
drinks. Right.
Okay.
It's just a helping, just like, you know. I always think of putting
Who wants vinegar in their bourbon?
Not me.
Well, if you have preservatives, so that's what they're aiming for.
Does it just help you mentally that you're drinking and being unhealthy,
think
and it
for
might be
health.
better for you?
And again, you see Ashton. He's like, so what's the backstory here? And again, he was open, and he like there are drinks like this, like kombucha or whatever. Like
Kombucha.
Yeah,
Kombucha?
That's
What
how I
is
say
that
it. You know,
again?
maybe that's just how I
I
say
don't even know what that is.
It's like some.
What is
It's
that?
a
It's
drink.
like it makes you go woo.
Yeah.
What is it?
What's
It's
that?
like a fermented drink. It hurts to drink
What
it.
does it
little
make
reaction
you
you
do?
do?
See, that's what bothers me. If it hurts to drink it, I don't know that I want
You
it.
have to get a really sweet flavor, otherwise
Yeah.
that stuff is strong.
Unless
It's got
in-
alcohol in it.
Unless it's in the Bebo,
Barely.
then I will always drink it.
You're gonna put your Mccleary Brothers vinegar in the Bevo, turn it
Every
upside down
time.
with a straw while you're skating
Right
on your
here.
acting.
So were they?
Yes.
They was. It was separate.
Speedy-
You could buy this just to drink straight and get healthy, or you could buy it to put it in your bourbon. Is that what it
But
was?
they were marketing it as a drink, like for your bourbon, for your drinks. But what the Sharks were saying is don't just market it that way. Market it
right.
to everybody because, you know, people who do drink vinegar regularly, like here's a great
Just such a
flavor option.
contradiction. Putting vinegar in your alcohol. It just could be, you know.
Yeah.
I only use
don't know,
vinegar to
there's
color
certain-
my eggs. That's the only thing I use it for.
I put it on my hair, on my scalp. It's really good for your scalp.
Really?
It's good on
Yes.
f-
But what, you got bourbon on your
didn't know
scalp too?
No.
Guy's gonna start sucking your hair.
His fiance will be jealous.
She doesn't listen.
She
it's
doesn't
fine.
watch. So I'd be on lockdown. And it's good on fries too.
Anyway, you know, and
I've got a cramp in my stomach.
Too much vinegar.
I feel like I always like when when sharks come around and tell you this little insight of what's happening in their head, and I like that Robert keeps it real, and he's like, an investment at this point might actually hurt you, which is interesting because people
Yeah.
I feel like think that money always solves problems, but in some situations, if you don't know where to put the money, it just kind of digs a hole deeper. So I like seeing that side of, you know, Robert. Most of the sharks have done it before, but it was interesting to see that.
I like that too.
And then, you know, Mark was just like, I'm not a fan, pretty much. He just didn't want to do it, so that's fine. And
I think I was probably with Mark, but I totally try it. But it's hard for me to, I don't know, vinegar.
yeah. And this
It's like
is,
taking wheatgrass. I never
did-
got into that either.
yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Like
if
5
people are
minutes,
into
he's gonna be
it, but
sucking Zoe's hair.
Vinegar's great on fries, though. Have you ever had on fries?
Yeah, and fish and chips.
Just
vinegar.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love vinegar. Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Try
All right.
it. Go to an Irish bar or Aussie bar or something. I don't know.
All right, I'm with you. We're going. Zoe and her hair, you and your chips. We're in. Me and Cam.
I don't want
All right. So this was when Cameron, you actually brought up how Ashton actually took charge, and it was really interesting. What
This was
happened
his
there.
best moment.
Yeah, let's tell him what happened. Do you remember, Cameron? Like,
What was happening? What?
no. Okay, guy. Tell
Oh,
us
when
what
he
happened.
when he was
Zoe,
going
anyway.
after Mr.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was first of the 2 times in the episode he played moderator. In this pitch and in the next pitch. In this pitch, he was telling Mr. Wonderful not to jump down this woman's throat.
Yeah.
Which I agree with.
Yeah, and he was like belittling people is not okay.
Yeah. I like how he put the finger up.
He did. He gave Mr. Wonderful the finger.
Gave him that one.
It was like.
good.
It does piss me off how Mr. Wonderful does that. He gets personal. There's no need to get personal with someone's business.
But,
Right, but yes
there
and
has
no.
to be that person on the panel,
That's
though.
yeah.
Just
His
tell-
But it wasn't
character.
like that in real. Like he was great. His interview. That's what I'm saying.
That's because you asked good questions. If you asked a stupid question, I'm sure it would have belittled you too.
Okay, fair enough.
He was
Fair
scary.
enough. I was like,
He's a scary little man. He's like 4'8", bald head, and he walks. He's terrifying. He's
he's not.
like a little gnome.
And he will never talk to us again now.
I know. He's not. We love you, Mr. Warnerville. You're not a gnome, but we'd love to have you on the show. But it was very, again, I've never seen a shark do this. I've never seen a shark be so comfortable and put the other sharks in their place like Ashton did to Mr. Wonderful. And that's what I liked. Zoe, come here. Let me have it, Zoe.
No, it's not that. It's just that I think they all know what characters they play on this show.
Yeah.
And Ashton knew coming in, he's there for a limited number of episodes. We don't know yet. Is this the only one? Will he be coming back for more? We don't know.
I don't know.
But I think he knows this is his persona in real life, too. This is the character he was playing on the show. And I do not think for a minute, as much as I like to pretend reality TV is real, that he just happened to step up or defend people. I think either there was plug in his ear or someone told him, like, he knows what he's supposed to do. So same thing for Mr. Wonderful, that he's...
But it's just interesting.
it's
I
what
mean,
they
you
do.
bring up a really good point, Zoe, because maybe it is because he's an actor and he has a persona. Because what I think is sticking out for me, not that I'm so mind blown that it's happening, but there's been lots of guest sharks, people that might be more successful than Ashton or net worth more, that have not done that. So I feel like that was. But you're right. Maybe it's just.
But his
because he's playing-
persona as an actor is completely different to what he was on the tank. You think of Ashton Kutcher, you think of comedy straight away.
Right, but maybe they were saying
Yeah.
Ashton plays serious, do this, do that. I don't know.
I hadn't seen that. I knew he was smart, but I hadn't seen that side of him
No.
before. The switched on,
He's
smart.
so on point. That
Yeah,
man.
he usually plays the idiot. 2.5 Men, he's playing the complete idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what you think of Ashton Kutcher as. When he played Steve Jobs, it was terribly reviewed
right.
because he played a serious character.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between playing an idiot and playing a friendly idiot, so to speak. He's
Yeah.
a friendly idiot. That's...
Yeah, no, I get that.
But yeah, the serious side of him I loved. I loved it. I loved the way he
I did
just
too.
made it his own.
It made me fall. It made me love him even more.
Even more than Mark.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know. Mark
even
Cuban
more than
remembered
Robert?
my name.
Did he?
Robert denied me a dance. I asked Robert to
Bah.
dance, and he denied me. Mark remembered my name after the interview when I was trying to I was in the fridge, and he was like, "Hey, Steph, could you get me a soda?" I was like,
She's not shut up about it for the last 4 months, by the way.
I love it.
All right,
Anyway,
fair
moving
enough.
on. Anything else about the Mccleary Brothers? She did not get a deal, did she?
No.
Yeah,
If
no.
I order some of this, will everybody try some of it with me on the show?
Yes.
I will actually be in Detroit in another couple of weeks, so we'll see if I can find it. That's where she's
Oh.
from.
Nice.
yes.
That is your task. We're
yes.
counting on you, Zoe.
I'll split the money with you too.
Yeah, we're counting on you.
I will bring in a Acton.
I got the Bebo. And I had the ball. What were the balls from last year?
Oh, the
They sell them at 7-Eleven.
yeah,
The cake balls. They were like cake
something
balls.
like that. Yeah.
What were they called? I forgot. Anyway.
Steph, work your magic and get Ashton on the show.
I'm trying.
can-
I've already
it'll
tweeted
happen.
him. I'm working on it.
That would be the.
Ashton, we would love to have your insight on our show. Okay, so now we are moving on to Chris and the Signalvault. Okay, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Chris wanted $200,000 for 2.5% of this
12.5.
Sorry, 12.5% of this solution for this multi-million-dollar problem. I don't know about you guys, but I was hacked yesterday.
Tell more.
Sorry about that, Steph.
Literally got a text message from my bank, Chase Bank. Thank you very much for being so on top of your game. I got a text message that said, did you spend $170 at a men's/women's clothing store? If yes, press 1. If no, press 2. So I pressed 2. I was like, no. And then I called my bank right away, and I was like, what is happening? I went online to see my bank statement. It was $170 charge, $200 and something charge, and it was like $500 worth of charges that came out of my card. So apparently it was very interesting because
You had your card, right?
I had my card in my wallet.
God, they're good.
So what happened is, it actually happened close to here, so I'll tell you guys where, and don't go there. But what happened is they do exactly what this guy said. They have these readers. My card was in my pocket, and they get close to you, read your numbers, have the plastic cards at home, remake the card with all your numbers on it.
What are the chances of this happening to you when we're about to speak about it on Shark Tank?
I know, it was it happened to me, and I didn't watch Shark Tank until last night because I was out Friday, so I literally was like, no way, because I had just seen it. So I don't know about you guys, but for the $14.95,
you've changed my mind.
I'm buying one.
No, you've changed my mind. I didn't buy it. I thought this hacking thing just by doing a laser or something was rubbish.
Crazy. It's and this isn't the first time it's happened to me. And this is the same thing that's happened, I think, at like the Target and Home Depot. They actually they'll go there and put a sensor underneath the reader. So when you read the card, Target or the Home Depot, wherever you're buying stuff,
I didn't know this.
No, it's crazy. Can still get your information, but as they're copying it. It's almost like someone's putting a jump drive in your computer and copying your computer.
So this thing is perfect. Fits in your wallet, $14.
It's awesome. My parents have this.
Really?
Yeah, I was so happy to see that they have it.
This one.
Yeah, they told me to get it because I just got hacked a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah.
God, this is a common occurrence.
$800 of wine in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
It's nice to be that person.
Yeah.
The bank even knew I can only afford $2 charge.
You got to say too good for the hacker then. At least he spent it wisely.
That's right, yeah.
But it was interesting because I was so curious, and I'm so glad I asked so many questions from the bank because I was so curious. I was like, how do they do this? And they literally explained it exactly like this guy explained it.
It's crazy
so I knew
that
he
they
was
can do
super
that.
legit.
It's crazy.
It's really scary what people can hack into. So then what I had to do is I had to go get a new card at the bank, and now some of the banks have these chips in them that are supposed to, so if you guys don't have those, whatever bank, your bank should now, you guys out there too, whatever bank you have should have new cards with chips. Go get a new card because that helps prevent being able to read it. But I feel like this Signalvault is kind of,
I'm buying one tomorrow.
yeah, I think I'm gonna buy
This
one.
is going to be a
scared the hell out of me.
monster of a business.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to sell the crap out of these things.
Yeah. How are the margins? What? He's a star, this guy.
yeah.
Oh my God, the margins, 75 cents to make, and he sells them for $15.
Just bam.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And wasn't this the guy who only invested $1?
Yes.
Yes, from the lottery ticket.
Yes.
I
kidding
love
me?
this guy.
He hit 5 of the 6 numbers.
Yeah.
Got his $8,000, exactly what he needed.
I got hacked when I tried to buy a lottery
But
ticket.
in the same sense, that's kind of
screwed.
awesome because this guy, even though he's making a killing, and this Cinderella story, whatever you want to call this story about how he won his lotto to get his money to do this, he's making a product that's helping all of us.
That is true.
Because you know what, honestly, thank God I'm not that person. There's people out there that only have $500 in their bank account, and for it to take 2-3 days to get your money back, those people would be screwed. So it's like he's making a product that inevitably it's helping people, it's making people safer.
It's affordable.
Good on him.
Yeah.
And it's affordable. He's not
Yeah, he's
charging
not gigging
$100
people.
so that you don't get 500 stolen, which people would still invest.
He's a highly intelligent guy, obviously.
Super intelligent.
I love this thing. I love that he
Yeah.
hasn't complicated the business.
Exactly.
Like this is what it is.
I
Like he
don't know.
hasn't invented an app for it yet that I know of. Like there isn't, he didn't get too
Right.
complicated with it.
And I don't understand anything about this stuff, but all it is a card. You buy the card, you put it in your wallet, you're safe. Even I can understand that.
Yeah, like
you know?
it like cloaks your wallet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And he showed it. I like he showed it with Mark Cuban's wallet
Yeah.
too. That was pretty funny.
I also think there's a competitor that I've seen actually on Home Shopping Network.
Okay.
And
Oh
so-
yeah.
But the way it works is it's more like an envelope. So you have to put your card into it. So I actually like this one more because your card only has to go against it. You don't have to worry about putting it in and out, which also makes your wallet bulkier if you have the extra 2 layers, basically.
I agree with that.
So with this one,
definitely.
So say if you have 5 cards in your
Right, who knows?
does it? I feel like it
He didn't
doesn't
specify.
Yeah,
It still works.
Good question.
Does it?
Still works.
He said put it right against your card, right? You've got multiple cards.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
So there is not a reason why you wouldn't buy this. It's just, it makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go get some guy.
Yeah, can we go
Yeah.
It
together?
does make sense. I do also think, though, it's just a little bit of fear mongering because, like you're saying, like.
But it happened to them.
No, I know, and people clearly get hacked. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Like I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't think it happens to, God willing, right? It
You're gonna
doesn't
get
happen to
hacked
every
tomorrow.
single person. I know.
Well, I mean, the 2 out of the 4 have already happened to you guys. The odds are pretty good over there for the 2 of you.
Don't get near us. We have like faulty wallets or something.
I know you do. That's what it
Stay
is.
over there on
We're
that
this
side of the table.
Yeah.
I just think that, like, let's say you're putting your card into the Target thing.
Yeah.
What happened with Target was they hacked into the system. And
Right.
so if you're just sliding your card, the little thing is not going to protect you because you're taking your card out. Someone could still be right there. Because, again, they don't have to touch your card. They just have to be nearby. So.
But it puts the chances down.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think it's a good idea, right? It's cheap. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I also think that there's some fear mongering going on.
Which is interesting because I feel like, we've all moved into this way of living with these debit cards. I don't have any credit cards, but debit cards. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe the safest thing to do is cash again.
I still write checks everywhere I go.
Really?
No.
No, you don't.
No,
Maybe we should do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and
You
again,
thought I was
but it's
gullible.
$15.
Cyber hacking didn't used to happen.
Even if it is, instilling fear and whatever for $15, I'm okay with that. That's why I said,
It's
like,
so
if this
cheap.
guy was trying to be $99, I would be like, come
Yeah.
on.
This guy's going to blow it out the park. Unless,
For sure.
who owns 80%, he said, though, of the security business?
Probably that company
I was
saw on
going to say maybe the
HSN.
one
Competitor.
she saw,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree with Zoe though. I think it's a better, like, if you just have to put it
Device.
against your
But
instead
can't-
of in the envelope.
The competitors can't do this themselves? They already own 80% of the market? They just can't get another card and do it?
It's probably
don't know.
patented.
Yeah, he
I
had
would think. He probably
I
has a
think so,
specific
yeah.
patent for that type of protector.
Yeah,
Or what.
you know what also stood out to me one of the facts he said was that the U.S. is half.
Yeah.
It accounts for half the fraud in the world. Like, what is wrong with our country?
Oh, you guys are greedy.
You're here.
You
You're
guys
part
are
of
You're
the-
here
You
now.
guys
You're
are
part of the
greedy.
system now.
We are greedy, guys.
Greedy.
It just occurred to me.
Greedy.
Other than being greedy, is it possible it's because we use credit cards and debit cards more often? Other societies are very much cash based.
Maybe,
We're
but
still
I feel
backwards.
like there's
We have-
something. I don't
don't
even
have
want
cars
to
yet.
open a can of worms, but with a lot of things, the statistics are higher for bad things happening in the U.S.
In Australia, you have to have like a certain limit to use your debit card. Here you can buy a pack of chewing gum with your debit card.
Yeah.
Australia, you have to have like a minimum of $15 or
Yeah.
spend a minimum of $20.
Some
So every
stores
time
do
I go
that.
home, I get my debit card out and they say they need cash. So that's why
A
America's
day in
cool
the
that
life
way.
of Guy David.
And
Yeah.
we don't have drive-through ATMs either.
Oh, what?
Drive-through ATMs.
Yeah.
We don't have them.
They're probably that's probably a source
And you
of
don't
some
have
hack
guns.
in there
You got to
too.
you got to park and walk to the ATM in Australia. How
What?
inconvenient, right?
Yeah, who walks?
That's the worst. Talk about greedy.
What you need to
You
do
could
is
get bitten by a
you need to
snake on
get
the
an
way.
Actin,
Yeah.
so that you can drive from the car to the ATM with ease.
While holding
But yeah, we
your
don't have guns. You
vinegar
can't
and
get
your
shot
Beagle.
while you're walking to the ATM either.
Yeah.
Which is good.
True. So it turns out that Chris gets a deal with Robert and Lori, which again, I felt like he kind of got taken a little bit on this deal. Because when he offered them back 18% and they were just like, nope, give me more. I feel like they would have been happy if he would have offered back 20. So they would have each got a solid 10 and he went up to 25 and they were both like, okay.
I
let's
didn't
do
get
it.
here why he originally offered 250K for 18%.
Yeah.
Then he went back down to 200K for 25. Why didn't
Yeah.
he
That's
keep
what
it
I'm
at
saying.
250K?
That's what. Yeah,
But that's what I'm
would've
saying. Like,
done
I feel
that
like
too.
he was just on the spot, got a little bit nervous, and was like, you could tell he
panicked.
panicked
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah. And he could have, I feel like he could have done 200,000 for 20%. and got away with that, or 250 for 25.
Yeah.
But he wound up taking the less of both, which is fine. He's got Robert and Lori, and they're going to be great and blow this thing out of the water.
They wanted this badly too.
Yeah, they did.
See how
Laurie
sick
saw
Kevin
it.
looked at the end of this one? He was like, damn it, missed out. They have this. There's a shot of Kevin after they give him the guys
Oh, I
a
missed
hug
it.
and everything. He's just like, oh my god.
He's like, I'm dead
He's
to
like,
her.
I knew it.
He loves his money, that guy
He
too.
does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to say about that before we go into the update?
I think that's it.
Oh yeah. So tell us about the update, Cam. How'd you like
Well,
it?
we were catching up a little Pipcorn.
Yeah.
A little scratch and grain.
Yeah.
I remember Pipcorn. We talked about it last season. It was a business from last season. And I thought it was kind of interesting because it was like the bits of popcorn.
I don't think I was here.
I don't think
It's like the
Yeah.
crumbs of popcorn. They made a business out of it.
Then
They
what's
bag it.
The crumbs of popcorn.
That's
Yeah.
what it essentially is because there's not many kernels.
Popcorn's
like
that
the
big anyway.
I know, but like the little bits, the little pips.
You know, like the bits at the end that are like somewhat kernel and somewhat pop. They're so
I
good.
hate
How do you
those.
not know? Oh,
I hate those
They
bits.
bagged them. Pipcorn bagged them, and they just did an update this week. Their sales so far since they visited the tank, 1.4 million
God.
little pips.
Riddled with envy and jealousy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home in my Honda.
Not with Mila Kunis.
No.
Scratch and Grain, 400K.
Yeah.
They're doing solid too.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw too, but a couple seasons ago we had the Cousins Maine Lobster on, and they now have a actual store
Over on,
Santa Monica
yes.
Boulevard. So I feel like
Really?
we all have to have a bonding dinner there. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I also saw one of the cake businesses somewhere
Wicked
in
Good
that same
Cupcakes?
neighborhood. I forget which one. Maybe Daisy Cakes.
Maybe, not
Over there?
I
sure.
don't think I've seen that. Orange County.
Well,
I think it's
yeah.
next to my apartment. It's close
There
by.
it is.
Yeah.
Because I knew it from somewhere.
Where's our
Acting on
cake?
all over there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
well,
confirm that though.
All right. Well, anything else that anyone wants to add before we conclude our season premiere of season 7?
I still think it's so fascinating that only women profited from the companies Mr. Wonderful invest in.
No,
Well, no.
only
most.
Profit. What?
The most successful.
No.
The only profitable companies in his portfolio have a woman CEO.
I thought it was the most profitable company.
No.
That is crazy.
No guy CEO has profited.
That's amazing. Rock
I don't
on.
know. I don't
That's
know
because-
ever. I
that's
think
because
it was like a current thing when we talked to him back then.
a lot of
blows my
those are
mind.
mothers. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and
Good at multitasking.
exactly.
Seriously.
There it is.
They got their
probably it.
Bebos.
In like the small business range is what he was saying. But you know, you guys should watch the interview and you should see. You can find
good
it.
one.
You can. It's
Men are getting lazier.
well, you know. Who woos the world? We do.
Who would have thought of that?
Hey, man. All right. Well, until next week, where can the people find you, Guy?
At Guy and a Girl Show for now on Twitter and Instagram. Guy David 86. I want to get to 50 followers by next week. That's my goal.
You got it.
What about you, Zoe?
I'm at Zoe Said What, and I just made the account not that long ago, so I'm at a big number 21. So if I can get to 50, I'd be thrilled.
Oh,
follow each other.
We got a little competition going here.
Oh, well, I was going to combine. Hey, good job on your first show.
Yeah.
Thank
Good job,
you.
Zoe.
Yeah.
You guys can follow me at The Only Camshaft, Twitter and Instagram. I'll be here tomorrow night for the Mindy Project, Wednesday night for Mysteries of Laura. And you can check Guy and Steph and I on Indie 100 Radio, our show, The Crooked Crew. Stef Z.
You guys can find me on all the social media platforms at IAMSTEFZ. Unfortunately, I will not be here next week with you guys. I'm going to London to the New York Jets Dolphins game because it's my birthday on Sunday. But the rest of the panel will hold it down for you guys, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Happy birthday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.